Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Proper Crows podcast. Thank you very much for joining us, whether you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or on YouTube. Thanks for your support as always. Today we'll be running through the round 21, very gritty win from last night against the Hawks, some general news, and much, much more. Not just me here this morning on Saturday. Dom, welcome back, mate. How are you?
Oh mate, I'm electric. I'm very glad to be back after what I think was a 4 week hiatus that ended up being in the end.
Yep.
Um, that I've missed. So once again, apologies for my tardiness. But no, it's very exciting to be back. I'm ready to talk some footy finally after having a rough time in the past few weeks.
Yeah, no, definitely. And of course, Dill, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. Good. I think we can finally say that the lid is so far gone. It is crazy. There's nothing better waking up on a Saturday or a Sunday morning after a big cross win on a Friday night, and even better when you're not hungover. So I'm fucking raring to go and rip this one apart.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Well, we'll start with the score. What was the score in the end last night?
So the Crows kicked 15-11-101 to Hawthorn's 13-9-87. So a nice little 14-point win there. We had Thilthorpe with 4, Rankin and Tex with 2, then Nibbler, Fogg and Solly with singles. So, not the 20 goal game that we've been saying, but still a really comprehensive score and a pretty big win in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. A very, very up and down game as well. We went into quarter time down by 25, go into half time up by 16, go into three-quarter time down by a couple of goals again, and then run away by a couple of goals too. Dom, what was the feeling last night when we were seesawing up, depending on the quarter? It seemed everyone kicking to the hill end was going all right, but kicking to the southern end just wasn't producing much.
Yeah, it was a weird game. Like it seemed like it was. If you looked at the score, like quarter by quarter, you'd think there was like a 5 goal breeze or something. But it was pretty ideal footy conditions, to be honest. Like, and it was just a massive game of momentum. Like, and it seems like the quarter breaks were just halting the momentum and switching it for each side because the game basically followed a script in the end. Like, whoever's kicking towards the hill end would kick 5 or 6 in the quarter, and then the other team would be lucky to register a score at all. So, um, yeah, it was the first quarter. Obviously, once it that first quarter wasn't ideal viewing. But within 5 minutes of the second quarter, it was everyone was up and about again. We pulled our way back, and then it kind of just, like I said, followed a script from there. Really, it was very
Yeah.
very weird game.
Well, it was
It was.
151 to 38 to the Hillside.
Yeah, very.
151 to 38. That is nuts. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before.
Nah, not without a breeze. Anyway,
Mm.
that's what I mean. Like it was ideal footy conditions. Like it was barely a breath of wind. It was like it was cold, but it wasn't wet. Like it was, you know, y I'd expect a high scoring game, kind of like we got, but not with the like quantity of scoring at one end compared to the other. It was very very weird.
Yeah. No, it was very strange. I mean, it was. Yeah, I don't know what it was. What was pretty good to watch though was Geordie Dawson in the second quarter after like I said, done the pretty lackluster first quarter, which wasn't great. He just put the whole team on the shoulders and said, "Yep, come with me. I'm gonna bring you along," and just really lifted us, which was pleasant to see.
Oh, that was ridiculous. Like it's so there's so much talk around the likes of Noah Anderson being All Australian captain, but I haven't seen Noah Anderson do that, especially a week before, 2 weeks before at Adelaide Oval when we had our foot on the throat. Noah Anderson was just having a cry to the umpires instead of just digging in deep like Dorse did. And I think it just reaffirms that he should be All Australian captain. He'll be in the squad, whether or not he's a captain. Something tells me there'll be a bit of Vic bias, you could say, involved in that decision. But
AFL
um,
never.
yeah, it's rare. Have we're very lucky, especially to only have, again, I say only 21 touches, but break the game open like he did in that second quarter, and um, we're very lucky to have him. Not even just as a captain, just as a player. Like we're in a very fortunate position, I think, and it shouldn't be underestimated how important he is. I don't think it is, to be fair. I think everyone knows, but it'd be nice to see some recognition from outside of the footy club that doesn't involve comparisons to Noah Anderson at some point.
Well,
Yeah,
he's starting to get it a little bit more though. I've seen on socials, people are starting to recognise that he may be the Brownlow medalist this year, and just the way that he used the ball last night, like to have 21 touches, kick 2 goals, and the 2 goals that he kicked as well was so crucial in the moments. That goal where he sort of picked up, evaded two, put it on the left, and just kicked it from there. But really, you could really sense that we were lifting from that point onwards. Just and 12 tackles as well. Like his contested work last night was just elite, elite, and he'll get 3 votes. He'll get 3 votes for last night, I think. But no, there's not too many players in the comp that can have 21 touches that effective. So very, very, very lucky to have him at the footy club.
yeah, no, 100%. I can't agree with you anymore. He's just an incredible player, and Nick Dacos probably has the Brownlow in his hands at the moment, but Dawes could very well poll incredibly if he can have a couple of games in the row, getting 3 from here on out. Maybe it'll be a sniff, but
I'm just saying, if Dawes can pull like 3 votes out for 2 of the next 3 games, I think his start to the year might have him ahead of Nick, because Nick's start of the year wasn't ideal.
yeah,
He's obviously, he's in the form he's in right now is absolutely ridiculous. Like his, Gary Ablett Jr. numbers, it's fucked. But his start to the year was a bit slow, so maybe Dawes has that. So if Dawes can just pull some votes out of his ass for the next few weeks, I think it'll be closer than we think.
Well, Dacos is into $1.67, and Dawson's out to sixes.
Yeah, it's because
yeah,
like Dacos, I reckon he'll have 4 in a row that he'll get 3 right now, I think, and then like tonight has Nick Dacos fucking 3 vote written all over it again because he loves the bright lights, but fuck him, who cares? Dawson, all he has to do is keep playing the way he's playing, and he should get a few lots of 3 as well. So
Yeah.
absolutely. Nah, he's every chance if he keeps rolling on like he is. He's just just playing incredibly. Really, it's great to watch. In terms of the game last night as well, I don't know where you saw the keys to it, Deal. We were talking last week about the forward structure, and you did point out to me last night about the way that the forwards sort of stick in their straight line up the field, which is I hadn't noticed it before until you pointed it out last week, but very interesting. Obviously got the job done when we were going to the hill end, but not the other way. But the structure was really good again last night, I thought, in those quarters where we were kicking snags.
Yeah, look, once you sort of get that ball into, the forward half, like, I would love to see our efficiency of scores per forward half entry, because
Yeah.
it would be very, very, very high, because, once we sort of got rolling and broke out of that sort of contested outside game that Hawthorn were just destroying us in for that first quarter, we just seemed to score freely, and just creating opportunities every single time. Like, when it was going to a one-on-one contest, they had no answer. No answer. When we
Yeah.
weren't kicking it straight down Sicily's fucking throat, it was fine. Like, I thought Josh Battle had a great game last night. Big kudos to him. But Tom Barras, he's a bum now. He is. Yeah, yeah,
Fall off his
yeah,
wagon.
he hasn't got Mudguts McGovern to fucking sit there and sit off him. So, we held when we had to, we held him accountable, and he had nothing. Yeah, he just had nothing for Thilthorpe, and same with Sicily. You held Sicily accountable, and he had nothing.
Yeah,
Um,
that was the biggest change from the first quarter, I thought, as well.
yeah, I thought the move to take Keys off Sick Dog was good. But Nixie said in the post game presser on Fox Footy that in the first quarter they knew what the issue was. That they could
Yeah.
they identified what it was very quickly. But they just wanted to hang in, they had to hold in for that first quarter and try and get a late one, and we did. So big credit to the coaching staff to sort of get out there and just say, like, boys, back yourselves in, trust each other, you know what's going on. And we saw that in the second quarter of how well we're able to adjust and just stay calm in the moment. And a lot of that did come down to how well that forward line did sort of combat that back six, because they're quite tall back there, and with the three tools that we've got, it was very interesting as we spoke about last week. But no, it was good to see that we bounced back well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And just having a look at it, so inside 50s per scoring shot, every two inside 50s, we were pretty much going for a shot, and every 3.5 we were kicking a goal. So narrowly better than Hawthorn in both of those stats there, which is pretty interesting. Basically 30% of the time we'd go inside 50, we'd kick a goal, which was pretty good. Next up, we'll talk about Riley Thilthorpe, because that bloke, if you just put it anywhere near him, he's taken a mark, basically. It doesn't matter if you put it 10 metres above his head. It doesn't matter if you put it wide. It doesn't matter if you put it into the advantage of his opponent. He just seems to pluck him out of the pack every single time. He took a couple of really big grabs last night, up the field probably more so. But just very good. Obviously kicked his 4 goals too, but the bloke's a freak. He can just do it all, can't he?
I think the crowd almost expects it now as well, because it's like I think people look out for him leading out of the goal square, especially because you can almost hear the crowd all go all Phil at the same time as soon as the ball gets kicked inside 50,
Yeah.
and you just know he's going to get hands to it. I'd say 80% of the time he's going to mark it, unless the defender is extremely tight to him, or there's someone coming back with the fly. He pretty much marks it every single time, unless he's uncontested in the goal square apparently. But he finished it off so good, so we'll give him a pass for that one. But yeah, again, it's like younger Tex, how the ball would go to him, and it's like you almost knew that he was gonna take it. Like if he gets a clean lead at the ball, you can almost put it in the book every time. It's ridiculous.
Nah, he's just incredible. I don't know your thoughts on him last night, Dill, but yeah, I think Dom summed it up pretty well there. You just put it anywhere near him, and he 95% of the time is going to make it work.
Yeah, look, just get the ball to him. Essentially, he's just a freak of nature. You know
Yeah,
I think probably the only bloke that could probably go with him in the air would maybe be Darcy Moore, just the way that he does sit off and comes off him. But most other defenders in the comp have just got no chance at all. But even if he isn't marking it, he's bringing the ball to ground and giving us best opportunity to be able to crumb up and still create a scoring chance. And we saw last night him push up a little bit further as well. It was just fuck. He's a talent, isn't he? He's an absolute talent. It's weird because I've been thinking this a little bit, but Jordan Dawson said it last night. It's a blessing that he was injured for so long, because I gave him a chance to go to the gym and bulk himself up, because he came back a different man, we're really really seeing it now of how good that he can be, and he's still got years before he matures properly. He's going to be very very dangerous, and it's going to be very good to watch.
yeah, no, absolutely. Because I mean, what is he, 20, 22, 23?
Yeah.
23. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's not even hit his prime yet, and the big fellas usually do take a little bit longer, which is a scary thought for the rest of the league. I'm sure he's just going to be tearing it up in our forward line for the next 15 years or so, and just just going to be one of the premier forwards in the competition, really.
A few Coleman's coming his way soon, I reckon.
Oh, sure.
It's genuinely horrifying to think about the fact that he's 23 and he's not, he's nowhere near his prime, and he's already doing this. Goddamn, dude.
Yeah,
We're in for a good ride.
definitely. So, where's he actually sitting in the Coleman at the moment? He's sitting
Fourth.
third or fourth, I think, isn't he?
Fourth.
Yeah, 48 goals this year. Obviously, no one's going to catch Jezreel's fucking 20 goals in front of Aaron.
He'll kick 100.
No, he won't.
Did you guys know that Jeremy Cameron kicked 11 goals one last week?
Did he?
I did.
Yeah, apparently so.
Wait, did you say one? Like one behind? 11 goals, one?
Yeah, he kicked it behind, I think.
Yeah, right. Did you know, wait, so, is he the same bloke that had 5 at half time?
Yeah, I think it's him, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, massive. What on Jeremy Cameroon. Good on him.
Moving on.
Big stats there. Nah, so next up we'll talk about Isaac Rankin. I mean, he didn't do a lot early, but I tell you what, the big players show up in the big moments, and in the fourth quarter, Isaac just turned it on. Fourth
Sorry,
quarter alone, he had
Ben, just sorry. Before we go on, I just need a Dylan. Did you know that Riley Thilthorpe kicked 4 last night?
Nah, look, Isaac Rankin last night in the last quarter was great. Fuck's sake. Nah, Benny, to carry on, let's ignore this fucking moron over here.
I get the feeling there's a bit of a gist from last week when you two were away that might be weighing into this a little bit.
Yeah, there was a bit going on because someone
Dylan
can't.
was Dylan was enjoying a few news flashes from Perth last weekend. So
People
Yeah, thanks,
playing
Sandra Sully.
on
But
beer pong,
no, yeah, fucking,
fish bars.
bit of vaping inside. But anyway, no, look, Isaac Rankin last night, 7 touches, 2 goals in the last quarter. It was good viewing. He when the lights were bright, he was like, "I'm the man," and he came out and did what he needed to do. And that's one of the reasons that we picked him up and paid such a high price for him because he's the X factor, and
Yep.
just the way that he put a big old Joshy Battle on the skates. Josh Battle did everything right in that situation there when he gave to Tex. He
yeah,
got
he did.
Yeah.
he got goal side of him. He made him stop. He made him reevaluate, and then Rankin just put a bit of a doozy up to Tex. Like, how do you defend that? You don't.
Yeah.
You
You
don't.
just do not defend that. So, yeah, he was great last night in that last quarter.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As I said, the big players show up in the key moments, and he had 7 touches, kicked 2 snags, and he had 5 score involvements in the last quarter alone. So he really helps just solidify that win at the end there. And I was a bit worried when he had that goal where he got the 50 at the top of the square and he used the full 30. I thought it was probably a little bit early to be doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
but,
that was
worked in the end.
that whole passage of play was weird though.
Yeah,
That was incredibly poorly umpired. Even though it worked out in our favour, that was incredibly poor.
yeah. No, there was the umpire off the back of the pack wasn't even paying anything. He didn't even like Isaac's running towards him. He's taken the quote unquote marks. It was touched, but
Yeah, and that's the
the
thing.
umpire
Like,
behind him wasn't even signalling anything, so he didn't know. So Isaac's running around, and then the Hawthorn player follows, and then he gives.
and that's the thing. Like, I reckon everyone in the ground saw that get touched except that umpire. Hence why Ranks didn't know what to do. It's like the umpires didn't call anything, so he's just trying to figure out what's going on. And then, as much as it went our way, but like I think Sicily was a bit hard done by there because he basically did exactly what Ranks did. Didn't know what was happening, and like I don't know. That was a very poor showcase of our umpiring, I think. But
Yeah.
it's
No,
yeah,
I mean, all night was really. There were a few absolute stinker decisions, like
yeah, it was bad.
one where they threw the ball back to Tex about 5 meters short, and it took him ages to do it, but that wasn't 50. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
just not going great.
I
At the
think
moment.
I underrated Rankin last night. I think watching it, like, I think this is a bit of a box score watch, even though I watched the whole game. But I genuinely, if you'd asked me, I wouldn't have said that he had 16 and kick 3.
Yeah,
Like, I think he just, and this might just be a me thing, but it seems like he just flew under the radar a bit last night. Just popped. I mean, obviously the last quarter it wasn't. He was best on ground in the last quarter, but yeah, first 3 quarters, considering he still would have had 9 and kicked 1. Like it's, I don't know. I feel like I'd maybe missed something there, or like I feel like it's definitely just me. But
no, I don't know. I think he had a few early, but they just weren't those influential ones that we're used to seeing. So he's just sort of quietly racked them up. In the same way that Mark Keane had 21 touches in the first 3 quarters, I didn't have any idea he was leading our
that was
fantasy, but
insane when that start came up at half time that he had 18 disposals and had like 6 intercepts or something. I was like, oh my god. Like I knew that he was having a good game because he was well and truly on top of like their entire forward line, to be honest, except Gunston. None of their tools did anything. Um, but yeah, like I knew he was having a good game, but yeah, that's outrageous.
yeah.
And then I just looked at his stats and didn't register a stat in the last quarter. He actually gave away 2 free kicks, and that was it. I like
Nah,
that.
enough credits in the bank for the first 3, I guess, but
Yeah, I was about to say I'm not complaining.
absolutely. Dill, what were your thoughts on Isaac in the fourth, mate? It was pretty special.
Yeah, nah, it was good to see. Like there was, as Dom said, I think being at the ground, you only saw bits and pieces. I feel like I watched the replay when I got home last night and chucked on the last quarter, and he really stood out on the broadcast. You know, the small little couple little things that he did was just he's just electric. He's so good.
Yeah. Nah, absolutely elite. And speaking of being so good, let's just take a moment, take a breath to think about the big Texan. Um, Two massive goals from around the 50 metre arc just to seal the game late. He just keeps getting better. I just he probably gets another year on the contract. We talked
I
about it
think
last week.
yeah. I'd almost pencil it in now, regardless as to. I think the only way he doesn't go on next year is if we win the flag this year, which is a big
Yeah,
if still. I know we're talking shit, but it's a big if. Um, I think he might hang him up, but if we don't win the flag, he'll go again 100%.
yeah. No, I tend to agree because I mean, looking at his stats, he's gonna he's gonna end up on probably about 40 goals, probably just over. You think he probably has a rest once and then plays 300 in the first final, so he's probably going to end up about 40 goals or so. In season 17 or 18 or whatever it is for him is pretty insane.
Yeah,
Um, I can't see any reason why he doesn't get another one. But if we were to win the flag, you feel like that might be a catalyst for him to say, "Yep, that's we got there." Off into the
yeah.
sunset,
I,
maybe.
I think it's just I don't know 100% what. Oh, I shouldn't say that because if he's still passionate and his body's okay, then he absolutely is entitled to go around again. But I feel like that's almost a perfect retirement for him. He's hit his 300. He finally got his flag. He's got his All Australian. Like
Yeah,
it seems like pretty fitting if he goes at the end of the year. But again, like we said, it's a big if on that grand final one. So
yeah, no, exactly.
I,
There's
I, I
always
think I
something
think the
awful about
equation
it.
is I think the equation if he wins a flag, he's done. We don't, he goes around one more.
yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, no, definitely plain and simply. But let's have a chat about those two big goals that he kicked. I mean, if you want to see the view from the hill, I was smart enough to get the phone out and record it while also watching the game, which was nice. But you just knew that first one, especially. You knew, he's gonna kick this basically. The second one was a bit of a tighter angle, and he went, you know what, I'll just fucking slot this one as well, no worries at all. So he just, I know, he just has a knack for the big moments, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Hmm.
that second one was crazy. The first one was just kind of like textbook Taylor Walker. Like my mate, who's a Hawk supporter, turned to me and he said he's gonna kick this. Oh, this is the game's done. And
Yeah,
then second one, it was the same scenario. He's like, he's definitely gonna kick this. This just has text written all over it. And lo and behold, our glorious king once again shows us that he's aging like a fine wine. And yeah, given he's not putting up his 70 goal seasons anymore, but we don't need that. If he can kick 40 this year, and that's a very, very good return for, how old is he now?
five.
35, 36. Um, you're doing pretty well having a bloke of his caliber kicking 40, of his age, sorry, not caliber. And it'll, time will tell re-retirement like we've talked about, but yeah, if he keeps going the way he's going, it wouldn't shot. He'll go round again, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
we knew that
absolutely.
shit was going in the second that he hit his boot.
Yeah, genuinely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, 100%. And shout out for the Selly as well, Jack Ginneran. Hope you're enjoying your flight back home.
Yeah,
Mate.
hold this, my brother.
Much slower, much slower.
Chapping that early is fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It was good to see Wayne Miller just sit him on his ass halfway through the last quarter as well. That was a nice
Yeah,
moment as well. But yeah, Tex elite. Um, probably goes to one more as we've said. Wanted to point out as well a very good coaching move from Matty Nix in the last quarter. They threw Dan Curtin into the guts, and I reckon the big body in there really helped us get on top. We obviously know he's a short price favourite to win the Rising Star now. He just does it all for us. He's a real Mr. Fix-It. Just chuck him wherever the hell you want and he'll do a job for you. But I think that move to chuck him into the guts in the last quarter last night was very, very smart from the coaching board, and was a real good contributor to us getting the game won, really.
Yeah, I thought DC going into the middle there really showed how much trust that we've got in these young kids, and when he went in there, the game changed.
Yep.
The game changed, and no one can match up on him at all. So I think we're starting to see bit of a changing tide. I think with that midfield mix, and it really wouldn't surprise me if we see him get 3 quarters in the guts next week against a dog shit Eagles team.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I tend to
I
agree.
think it's the perfect year, the perfect game to really unleash him in there and see what he can do, because he's just got shades of that 2016 Bont about him, doesn't he? He's just got
Yeah.
shades of. I'm not sure if you guys remember that final series that Bont had that year. They were the same age. I think Bont was 20 that year, same age as DC. Maybe had a year on him, and Bont broke that final series apart. And I don't know, there's something about it that is just reminding me of what he did that year and what Danny Curtin's got at the moment. So I think watch this space, because if he gets unleashed in the midfield and gets his mitts on the football a little bit more, it's an X factor that we know that we had, but maybe the rest of the comp isn't ready for it yet.
Yeah. No, I tend to agree. What are your thoughts, Dom?
Oh yeah, 100%. He's got that. He has the same archetype that I think so many people have been crying out for. That like Bont, Cripper, 195, 200 centimeter midfielder that can just break the game open. And like Dill said, we've known for a while. We've had him there. Whether or not the rest of the comp do that, I think. Well, I think now he's probably starting to. Other teams obviously starting to become more aware of him. But yeah, if he can go through there as a full time midfielder, like Dill said, there seems to be like a bit of a change in the midfield mix, and I agree. I think just throw him into the guts, give him a full game on ball next week, um, and see what happens. Because if he turns into the player we all think he's going to be, like it's going to be horrifying for the competition. Having a bloke that's almost 200 centimeters running around in the midfield is going to be crazy, dude.
Yeah. Oh, it's just insane. If he can, yeah, if we can get him through the guts, that's just, yeah, just
It's
going to be ridiculous. Really,
It's
it's
lights
just,
out, especially with Dawson already in there, having two big, strong through the hips midfielders is so like
I think that will
once
free up
again,
Dawson to go forward, though. I think if Danny goes in there, if Dawson goes off half forward and pushes up the ground a little bit more.
yeah, Dawson he'll play less through the midfield, 100%. But just knowing you've got him there, even if Curtin doesn't play as a full time mid, even if he does like play on the wing, it's enough to thinking about the fact that you've got like two 190 centimeter midfielders just sitting there playing elsewhere on the field that you can just inject in whenever you need them it's ridiculous.
yeah. No, it's absolutely insane. And speaking of that midfield mix, it was a little bit different last night. Obviously, Laird went out. He hadn't been going through there too much, but a little bit. Um, Dorse doing what Dorse does. Bez was okay last night. I think he had his moments, but probably wasn't to the same level he has been for the rest of the year. Your boy Jake Saligo was probably
Oh,
very
dude,
good again.
my sweet prince. He was definitely down compared to last week, but he played his role. He was good in the moments he needed to be. Kicked that goal at the end. Um, he was a bit quiet, but you know, he's always going to be. He's still that young that he's got to develop that consistency, and as long as he gives us that reminder every couple of weeks that he's capable of having 35 and kicking three, I'm okay with him having 15 and a goal.
Mm.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially when you're surrounded by blokes like Dawson and you chuck Curtin in there who has an impact, and Nibbler went up there through the guts a little bit as well, and he was very effective. We'll touch more on him in a second because he showed last night why we got him across, even though we did miss a couple of behinds. But Yeah, I think if do you want the floor for a few minutes to talk about Jake Saligo? Because I've had it on the run sheet for the last 3 weeks for you to take the floor and just chat about how good he's been, and you haven't been here. So do you
Yeah,
want to
I keep
talk
missing
about
it.
your boy?
I absolutely can, my brother. So when we drafted him, there was a lot of uh, kind of apprehension about taking him so high, and then we signed him to that contract extension to till 2029. That was um, not frowned upon, but I mean it was. Kane Corns had a few words to say, especially because he probably hadn't shown a lot by that point. Like he'd only played, a season and a half. He hadn't kind of broken out yet. He was still in and out of the team. Um, but ever since the start of last year when he was sub and then um, came on and like broke the game apart, I cannot sing his praises enough, and I will continue to do so for as long as humanly possible because the trajectory he's on is going to be incredible. Like he's already, above average in a lot of key stats. Like his clearance game is ridiculous. His tackle work is ridiculous. Like he's so good in and under, and he's fast. He can break through the packs. He can kick goals. Um, and like I've said, like if he develops the consistency that we hope he is, and he'll end up being one of those blokes that's averaging 25 and a goal for 5 or 10 seasons, and I don't think you can really ask for more from a pick 36. Um, and like I've said, he has been quiet a few times this year, but he's got so many credits in the bank, and he still does what he needs to do. Even when he's not getting his hands on the pill, his pressure around the ball is absolutely incredible. And he he'll start getting his flowers soon. I think once he gets, like I've said 100 times, once he gets his consistency, it's our midfield just looks scarier and scarier every time you talk about these players. Um, there's just another one coming through, and we're primed to have one of the best midfields in the comp for at least 10 years, I reckon. Especially if Sid develops how we think he's gonna. It's gonna be scary.
Yeah, nah, absolutely. We're primed for years and years ahead, and yeah, like you say, Sid's still coming through the SANFL, and he's going to be a jet too. So that midfield mix is just going to be insane for probably at least the next 7, 8, 9 years if you can hold it all
Yeah,
together. Which the vibe around the club at the moment, I have no doubts in our retention ability for all of these blokes. So it's pretty
yeah,
promising.
and that's the thing. It's so like there was so much concern around Matt Crouch when he went down, but even like Sam Berry has been absolutely nuts the past like month, especially. He's borderline been our best midfielder for the past month. Like in terms of, um, I've been saying this a lot, but in terms of consistency, like his, I think I can't remember if I said it on the pod or it was just a conversation we had, but he's literally just Matt Crouch with the turn of foot and like the burst. Um, And don't get me wrong, I still think Matt Crouch has a very big role to play in September in our midfield. But knowing that if he goes, or he retires, or if anything happens to him, we've just got Sam Berry sitting there waiting. Like
Yeah,
it's wow.
nah,
Because
absolutely.
I was off. I can't lie, I was off Berry at this point last year.
Yep,
I
totally
think a
agree.
lot of people were. I think he had been given a few opportunities and he hadn't taken them. He'd been wasteful with the ball when he was getting his hands on it. But then I don't know what changed, but he's been absolutely freakish especially this past month. It's been incredible the past month.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just that, yeah, the mix as a whole has just been really, really, really good. And Dill, what are your thoughts, mate, on the rotation through the guts there of all those boys?
It's great. It's really good, and it's been such a quick turnaround on everything. Like how long ago? I think it was only probably 18 months ago. But we're sitting here. Well, we weren't sitting here, but we were talking amongst each other about what's going on. Like how do we fix this? Because we were so stagnated with Laird and Crouch in there.
Yeah,
We're like we've got no other mix. Like this is an issue, and now we've got what probably 8 boys, 9 boys that can run through there.
yeah, absolutely.
It's just it's really really good to see, and you can just change the dynamic in the click of a finger. Like we started. in the last quarter bounce with, I think it was Saligo, Rankin, Curtin. I don't think we've seen that mix all year. And then all of a sudden, a make or break quarter, like, pretty season defining, and you've gone with a whole new mix and they've just broken the game apart. It
Yep.
is it's very exciting to see, having so many different players that can run through there with so many different skills and assets, for what you need, and certain matchups, and it's what you need to be one of those top four, top two teams, and we've really got that at the moment. So the way that we've so quickly sort of rebuilt that midfield to what it is today is really exciting, and big props to the footy club.
Yep. Nah, 100%. And touched on him just before, Alex Neil-Bullen, a bloke who we recruited for the big moments. His experience has been huge for us all year, and no different last night. Had 18 touches. He kicked a snag. He did miss a couple, as we said, but that's all right. He was still very good. 23 pressure acts. He was on the ground for 86%, so he stayed out there most of the night. Had 9 score involvements, and was real key in the last quarter too. He had 6 touches there, kicked himself a snag, couple of marks. Nibbler just keeps showing why we brought him in. Really, he's so good. He's that level head when we need it. I reckon he definitely lifts the younger fellas around, and invaluable pickup from the off season.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's the most pleasing thing is he's lifting the players around him as well, and he's doing exactly what we kind of needed him to in terms of bringing in that experience, the composure. You can tell the other players are definitely taking a leaf or two out of his book. And like you said, he definitely could have been more costly last night with those 2 misses, but I'm not one to like rest on it for too long, considering we won. Hey Dylan, do you know that Thilthorpe kicked 4 last night?
I'm so sorry I had to say that. I'm so sorry. Keep going.
Hey Dylan, how did Luke Pedler play last night?
Oh, don't.
I'm just wondering how Luke Pedler played last night.
I'm sure he had 3 beers and performed well post game of the district. I'm sure of it.
Oh, was he not playing? Can you talk me through that?
I thought the selection was the right selection because Zach Taylor's been showing a little bit more.
See,
than what he has, so.
I see this word, Dylan. It says Pedler omitted. Can you just explain to me what omitted means?
It means he's been dropped, Dominic.
Oh, that's interesting. It's very interesting.
These are any earphone users right now.
Yeah, maybe turn that one down in post. Beep that. So Dylan, can you just talk me through why you think Pedler was dropped, mate? Sorry, Ben, we're going back to
No,
a bit earlier in the run sheet. I've
to go through that.
Yeah, Dylan, could you just walk me through why you reckon he was dropped, mate?
So yeah, look. So we got some questions and feedback here from the listeners, actually. So.
Coward.
Now, before we move on to that, I do want to talk about Hugh Bond as well, because I thought he played well early. Yeah, I was laughed at in the group chat for suggesting he was good early, but I thought he genuinely played his role very well in the first quarter, and was one of the ones that sort of kept us just at arm's length and able to come back from there, to be honest. I mean, he
was all over Dylan Moore last night.
He was.
Yeah. He had, I think he had about 25 touches in a matter of 2 seconds in that first quarter there.
Yeah, that passage play was funny as hell when he was just taking the handball receivers, getting rid of it, and then getting it back for some reason.
He had 5 touches in that passage of play.
That is so funny. Yeah, he had 6 touches in the first. They were all handball.
Look at his heat map. Look at his heat map for the first quarter.
Oh yeah, they were all.
You can see where they all are.
Yeah.
That's funny. Nah, he was good though. He did a very good job on Dilmore. He had a few moments, and I think that's why he got laughed at in that first quarter.
Yeah.
But again, you got to give him a bit of time. He's been in the SANFL all year. He's gonna. You can't expect him to be adjusted to AFL pace with his second touch of the footy, but. Yeah, he was very good, very good. He played the role I think we all expected him to when we saw him come in. And it would be nice for him to play more, but it's also a good problem to have.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's not an easy side to break into at the moment by any means too. someone who probably is going to go out of the side next week, you'd have to think Braden Cook didn't have his finest
Oh,
game.
gee.
Yeah, that was
4.5 quarters for one touch and one handball. He wasn't doing a lot.
He was just skipping around.
Yeah, that was a big fucking stinker and hooked last night, unfortunately.
Big time. So, yeah, I think he probably goes straight back out. And does your boy Lukey Pedler come back in? Just
I
Oh,
think.
mate.
back
No,
in?
I don't think he does. I
It
think
dep-
today. I think we'll get pretty good gear today in the Sandfield of who does come in. I
yeah,
reckon.
that's what I was gonna say.
I've got a very slight feeling they might debut Charlie Edwards next week, no matter what. Maybe even give Billy Dowling a run. I think you're going to see a few names go out next week.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
Nah, absolutely. Of course, we'll get to that a little bit later on. But yeah, for now, we'll jump onto some feedback from the listeners at the moment. And of course, if you're listening and you want to, chime in, we put up the post for every game at Proper Crows Pod on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You'll find us everywhere. End of game post on Twitter. James Payne said, "I said the next 3 weeks after the Dogs game are going to be massive, and we won them all. I'm currently so drunk, both from alcohol and happiness."
Incredibly well said.
Very big mood from last night. We'll jump over to Facebook now if my phone wants to load it up for me real quick. But yeah, I think James sums it up very well there. We were all ticking along very nicely last night, and it wasn't even alcohol infused for the most part, to be honest. We were all just very up and about. Plenty of hugs shared on the hill after the siren went, which was nice. I think we've been through the trenches, and we deserve this, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it was. Oh, there was nothing better than like Friday night footy, top four, 50,000 at Adelaide Oval, and it was so nice getting that feeling back again that we haven't had for you know 8 years. The closest we got was probably that godforsaken Swans game, in 2023. But yeah, like the vibe last night was, it felt like a final, and we've
Yeah.
been so starved of that kind of atmosphere for so long that it just made it 10 times better. It was so good.
Yeah, nah, absolutely. To tick over 50,000 last night. I thought we were going to be in the 51, 52 sort of range, but
So did I. It was big.
Friday night.
Even like looking on TV, you could barely see a gap. The hill was absolutely pumping last night. There was people everywhere.
Yeah, just a quick one on the hill to the fucking kids that come and just chat shit the entire game. Fuck off.
Yeah,
Seriously, fuck off. I'm so sick and tired of having just a group of 18-year-olds in and out all game, fucking crouching down, vaping. Just seriously, fuck off. It's so frustrating. And you see people get kicked out for the smallest little things. I saw someone get kicked for swearing last night. But you've got these kids that are barely 18. I don't think any of them half of them aren't 18, sending one person to the bar, coming back and having four beers and sharing them, and then they crouch down vaping while we're jumping around, then get shitty that you hit them. This is a real old man yells at cloud moment, but fuck off.
no, it's so valid, because especially the ones like, there was a few in front of where I was last night, because I was probably like a couple meters to the side of you boys.
Yeah.
And they were just doing the same shit. They were crouching down, and then they would like, they're not watching the game for 5 minutes, and then something will happen, and then they decide to get stuck into people around them, and it's like, mate,
Yeah.
no, like,
I think that's
lift.
the most frustrating thing. Like, I could deal with the rest of it if they were actually watching the game.
If they're watching the game, they were carrying on, fine, I'm all in, that's fine, getting around it, that's great. But there was a couple in front of us last night, that fucking moron in the beanie Benny, that Hawks bloke.
Spiderweb.
Oh my golly gosh.
A few
He
social gatherings.
It was awful, and they kept walking in and out, and I was just getting so frustrated. I ended up turning to one of them. I'm like, "You're in or you're out. Like, you're pissing me off." And you should have seen the look on this chick's face. Just looked at me. I'm like, "You good?" And Ash like, "Dylan." I'm like, "Well, she's pissing me off." Fuck's sake.
No, that was the thing as well. I think, especially where we stand as well, is people use that walkway and they just sort of like push through to get past you back to their mates. It's like, buy a round, come back, and watch the footy. Half of
Yeah.
them literally just stand and face the other way and they don't even watch the footy. That's the most annoying part. And fuck,
That's-
yeah, we sound like old people right now. But
Yeah.
That's the funniest part about it, when you were looking at them and they're standing in a circle all talking and not a single one of them's watching the game. And it's like, what do you, like, come on, man. Give the ticket to someone that actually wants to watch the
Yeah.
footy. Like, go to the pub and do exactly what you're doing right now.
It's funny
Yeah.
because I actually saw a couple tweets last night regarding the same thing of people rocking up and not watching it. And I think, if you're not from Adelaide and listening, because I know that we do have a very big Melbourne-based listener group. If you haven't been on the hill, you're probably thinking these boys are just sooking, but it is genuinely, it ruins the watching experience when
When
you've got
you,
a group of 10, 15 up there standing around talking shit. You cannot. It's just awful. It's fucking awful.
especially when they get drunk and they start dicking around and they start like shoving each other into you and like you get drinks spilled on you, like, and I'll give credit, he's definitely not listening to this, but there was one of them last night that actually came over and apologized to Zach and me and Matt and just said, I'm really sorry about my mates, they're being idiots, like, I'm just trying to watch the footy. So big ups to that bloke. But yeah, the rest of them, like, because they bumped us like 5 or 6 times in that last quarter because they were all just pissed. They had like a beanie or something that they were trying to take off each other, and one of them was just screeching like it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sounds like Jabo.
Oh, Jesus.
Redacted.
Don't say that. We need our loyal listener base. I love you, Jamo.
Rent free. Fucking hell.
Mate, you're the one that brought him up.
Oh no, I just acknowledged that.
Oh, I thought you were calling me rent free, and I was
Oh
like,
no.
bro.
Anyway, back to the feedback on Facebook. Dalwood AFC Tuckwell, Adelaide Crows Pride Forum legend, has been in there for years. Another win at Fortress Crowville. Finals like contest on field, electric atmosphere off it. Go you Crows. Very well said. Janet Nash Brown, shout out to my auntie. Woohoo, what a game. Well done, Crows. James Hampton says unreal effort after Hawthorn came out strong. It was, like we said earlier, a very up and down game, but it was very good to see the way that the boys just bounced back and were able to really get the momentum back on side and obviously get the win. Josephine says, you're a true believer. Love your work, effort, proud Crows for life. Thank you, heart, heart. And Peter says, I loved it. Great fight back. Sensational, supportive crowd.
Peter?
Peter Bergen.
Oh, thank God.
Peter Price. Peter someone
No,
else, maybe?
yeah, worst one I was thinking
redacted.
of. But nothing was said. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, we could be referring to someone. I don't know who we could be referring to, but if you think it is and the shoe fits, maybe. Just another point before we move on to our votes. I just want to mention, there are some fucking good photos that came out of the game last night. The one we used for the full-time post of Isaac Rankin with his celebration, cold. Tex giving the finger to the ear, cold. Jack Ginnivan giving the finger to the crowd, not so cold. But
There were the photographers were on point last night. Even the one of Tex like mid kick in action from behind with the crowd in the background. That one's nuts as well. Like
The one of him pointing his ear is already my phone background. It's already my wallpaper. It's so good.
Nah, I rate it. So yeah, shout out to all the photographers there. Shout out to Danny. I don't think she'll be listening. She's a Bombers fan, but one of my friends is one of the photographers out there. Do a fantastic job. We'll jump into the votes now. Now this might be a bit of a tricky one. 3, 2, 1. Dom, I'll start with you. Who gets your one vote this week?
now, see, this is a difficult one. I'm gonna cop it from a few individuals for this, but I'm gonna do it. Riley O'Brien.
I don't hate it.
Yeah! Finally!
Because
Drinking that fucking Kool-Aid.
I have been so anti-Rob, and he's done nothing but prove me wrong for the past month. And he was exceptional last night. There's no two ways about it. There's no hiding from it. He beat Meek pretty comprehensively. He had, out of his hitouts, I think he had 9 to advantage, which again, that's the stat I always pick on for him, and he did well. He looked composed with the ball. I can't really fault it, to be honest. He was great, so I'll give him his flowers like I've said I'm going to. I'll do it for once.
Absolutely. Dill, how about you, mate?
Wayne Miller.
I
I
like
thought he was.
that.
Mine,
I thought he was great last night. I thought he was fucking great. Just, I feel like we've been robbed of 100 games of good footy from him.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
the form that he's been in is just unreal. That little step round and blind spin he did in the last quarter last night. Oh fucking hell, dude! I
he's
think it was last.
so he's so good with ball in hand. Like
Yeah,
watching him break. Given last night, Hawthorn were pretty on with their tackles, so he got done a couple times. But
mm,
he's so clean with ball, like you said, is like little dummies around players. He breaks 90% of tackles that are like that try to be laid on him. Like he's crazy.
yeah. No, he was just so clean last night, and I did sort of throw this up for a little bit, but no, Wayne Miller for me 1 vote last night. I think it's the first vote he's got all season as well from us.
Yeah, yeah, probably would be.
Yeah.
Honourable mention for Riley O'Brien. I have it written down. He was very, very close, but there were a plethora of players who could have got this one vote. For mine, it's going to Dan Curtin, though. And he was probably stiff not to get more, but there's a couple of blokes who we'll talk about in a second who just sit in front of him, I think, from last night. But was massive in the last quarter, like we said, to get the boys over the line, and he's the rising star. There's no ifs or buts about it. It's a mathematical impossibility. He misses it. The boys in the chat will like that one. He gets my one. Dom, who's your two?
Riley Thilthorpe. Once again, there was a few other players, like you just said, DC. Neil Bullen was definitely close to at least getting one, but um, Riley once again showed that he's going to be the best key forward in the comp. Kick four, 12 touches, 8 marks. He took a few on the wing as well to get the ball forward. And I think this is controversial as hell, but I also just want to give a shout out to um, Darcy Fogarty because he didn't play necessarily well, but some of his work up the ground the past few weeks has been so like unsung. Um, and it's probably weird timing because last night definitely wasn't his best game. But just on the topic of key forwards playing well, I think he's been very underrated. Like I know his output in terms of goals hasn't been there, but his work up the ground, his delivery inside 50, I think has been incredibly underrated the past few weeks.
Absolutely. Nah, Dill and I did talk about that. Was it last week or the week before? I think he's putting out a lot more than you see on the stat sheet, and yeah, he's not getting on the scoring sheet, but he's playing higher up the ground. He's allowing Phil Thorpe to own the 50 a bit more, and Tex to have a couple of good games, and
Yeah,
he's doing a lot for us. So yeah, no, fully agree with that one. And Dill, your two.
Oh, right. It's funny. There was about 6 players that I had here from between 1 and 2, but I'm gonna go Riley Thilthorpe just because of
Yep.
that 3 goals that he kicked in the quarter and just the way that he sort of influenced the game in his own way. But I was very close to going Danny Curtin, um, and then I was very close to going Josh Warrell as well because I thought his intercept game last night was just incredible.
Yep.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to Phil Thorpe. Just gets it done again, and haven't seen a single post about him from any Vic media from last night, which is just crazy because you saw Junk Time Sam Darcy the other night, and they were all over him. But
Yeah,
that's
bro.
fine.
If we talk about
I'd
him more,
rather.
maybe they'll give us the attention, bro. Just talk about him more. It'll generate it ourselves.
Yeah, no, I'm just nah. It's just gonna piss me off. I've already got a bunch of Bulldogs fans. I'm not gonna bother. I've actually seen. I put out a tweet the other night on my personal account, and now whenever I scroll through Bulldogs Twitter, I'm blocked by like 7 people. Like
I like
really,
that.
all because I said Happy Showdown Day and fuck Sam Darcy. I didn't even go into their mentions. I just tweeted on my own account, and they're obviously so self-indulgent. They're literally searching Sam Darcy, and they block me over it.
It's also heinously funny how they were like there was a group of them complaining about the rent free of Darcy and Crow's supporters' heads, but then one of the first tweets I saw after they played GWS was a comparison of Sam Taylor's stats on
That was ridiculous.
Darcy and Thilthorpe.
And
And
not
it's
to break
like,
it down too much, but the comparison of a wet Adelaide Oval compared to a dry Marvel Stadium is just fucking hilarious as well.
literally, like, come on, man. Like, they say that fucking Darcy's rent free in our heads. I think it's a little bit the other way as well, fellas.
Yeah.
Ladies, actually, I'm pretty sure that was. But,
Yeah.
yeah, it's very interesting, you could say.
Nah, absolutely. I've got the Dogs firmly on my ops list at the moment. Their fans have pissed me off the last few, so hold that. My two also goes to Riley Thilthorpe as well, so he's locked in the 2 votes for us here. Dom, your 3. I get the feeling we're going to be all pretty consistent with this one, but who you got?
Yeah, something tells me the captain's got 9 votes coming his way, but um, Jordan Dawson, as I think everyone could have expected, absolutely ridiculous, even given 20 touches. But when you throw in 12 tackles, 4 clearances, 2 goals, 91% time on ground, which is insane. You can tell that they're just resting him forward instead of taking him off the ground, which I think has been very, very beneficial. But yeah, the second quarter especially, where he stood up when we needed him to arrest the momentum back. We already talked about him for 5 minutes at the start, so there's not much more to add. But yeah, I think it's going to be a comprehensive clean sweep coming up, I reckon.
Yep. Deal.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. There's currently a massive argument going on in my keeper league at the moment, so I'm just sort of keeping up to date with this. Do we say 3 votes?
Yeah. We reckon we're
Jordan
going to be pretty
Dawson.
consistent here.
Yeah, Jordan Dawson. Yeah. For have you boys voted yet, or am I the first 3 vote? I'm so sorry. I just completely zoned out.
Nah, you're second up, mate. The Perth
I'm
News
second
has
up, but
put him
yeah,
through.
as we spoke about before, he's 21 touches. Um, probably felt like 40 because every single time that he touched it, something happened with it. He's so strong. Those 2 goals in the moment were huge. 12 tackles, contested game. Thank you, Adelaide Football Club, for getting him over. Because if he wins a flag, I think he probably goes into the top 5 that we've had straight up. Straight up,
Yep.
he's that good. He's that good.
Nah, absolutely. I reckon that's definitely a conversation if that eventuates. But yeah, he's going to be up there as one of the best ever for sure, and certainly does get my 3 votes from last night as well. Moving on to the general news of the week, there hasn't been a lot, to be perfectly honest, which is usually a good thing, so that's all right. The only thing was Isaac Cumming expecting a baby girl, so congratulations to him and his partner, who I forget her name. Tia Charlton signed on for 2 more years with the women's team, which is good. Rising star of the competition for sure. The SANFL squad take on Norwood this afternoon, I believe, down at the parade. So obviously no recap for us on that one today, but we'll break that down next week and we'll see who comes into the squad. And then let's move on to next week against the Eagles. So we take on West Coast on Sunday afternoon, 4:40 or something like that. We've got the graveyard shift. Any changes to the side for you boys from last night?
I
Oh,
I think there'll be a lot, but not performance wise. I think there's a few players that'll get a rest. Um, I'm surprised Ladd was rested this week. I thought next week kind of was penciled in.
I think it's arrogance resting him against Hawthorn.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit
Yeah.
insane to be honest, but good on him. I think if Ginnivan or Watto had got off the chain, I think it would have been a bit of a egg on the face moment. But they clearly had a plan and it went well. I don't think Tex will make the trip.
No.
I think he'll stay home, put the feet up for a week. Whether or not that means Chris Burgess comes in, I don't know. Whether or not they just
He'll
changed.
definitely play. He'll definitely play.
Yeah, has to.
Yeah, well,
He's
that's.
earned it.
I think that is almost. I think should be locked. I don't think they should be taking Tex across, but who knows with what has happened, to be honest. And then I think obviously Cook. I can't see him surviving. I think he'll come out, and
Yeah.
like Dill said, probably for a Dowling.
Mm.
Depending on how he plays today. And then I don't know. I'd like
Laird
Charlie
will
Edwards
be
to
coming
debut,
back.
but fuck, I hope he doesn't in Perth.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not the greatest start. I mean, I think Rory Laird probably comes back into the side. You'd imagine he's probably not going to miss 2.
I think there's a massive chance that Chase Jones goes out of the side as well. I think there's a massive chance that Cook, Cook and Jones go out. I think you might see a Charlie Edwards and someone else come in and Tex go out for Burgess. I think we could see as many as 4 or 5 changes next week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
potentially.
and like I don't know. I think Tex is probably the most obvious one to get a rest, but even if like
Yeah, I'd
I
rather
don't,
him not play next week. Give him a week here, and then he goes and plays 2 games to keep the body moving. Has a week off, then he comes back raring to play at least 3 finals. But
yeah,
at the very least, I think we're playing 3 games of finals, so he needs a rest. And if you give him a rest now, he gets another rest, the week before finals, and he's still
Yeah.
played 2 games in a month, which is probably
yeah,
perfect for the way that his body's moving. And I'm not sure if you guys have watched the Fox Footy post game stuff yet, which I did send a text message to the group chat this morning, and I implored you to do because it's a good little 45 minutes block there of Gary Lyon down in the room, Nick Rewalt, and who else was it? I don't know who else it was, but they spoke to Tex, and you could see how happy Tex was, and he was talking about how good his body feels, and he's not ready to stop yet. And he did say that he'll speak to Burjo and Nixie in the week to make a decision. So I took that as he's definitely not playing.
Yeah.
But no, if you haven't watched that post game yet, please do it because they spoke to Rankin, they spoke to Tex, they spoke to Nixie, they spoke to Dorse, and it was so good to watch and it puts into perspective of how good of a place this club's in at the moment.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's definitely one to look forward to for next week, and it'll be interesting to see the team make up and who they, you know, who they put in there to get those runs. But realistically, we should be winning the game pretty easily next week. Are we all pretty much in unison of that? I would assume we
yeah.
are.
I can't see West Coast doing anything, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I think the line, I had a quick look before we started recording, is at 55 points, and I think that's probably a bit too small, to be perfectly honest. But
Yeah,
hopefully go over there, get the job done, add a bit more percentage onto our massive percentage already, but add a bit more onto that and really solidify it and come home ready for what's probably going to be the game of the season against the Pies and may very well decide top spot pending other results for Collingwood as
It's
well.
going to be 1v2 on a
yeah,
Saturday night. Oh my fucking god!
yeah,
That
man.
was
It's gonna
just
be. It's sold out 2 weeks
yeah.
ago. It's gonna be
Well,
massive.
when was the last time that we had a 1v2 here?
It would be probably 2017. Oh,
Did we
I
have
don't
one in
even know if we. I
2017?
don't even know if we would have had one in 2017.
I don't think we played Geelong in 2017 here.
No, we did, but I don't think they were second at the time. We
yeah,
definitely did. We definitely played them in Adelaide
yeah,
because it
we played
wasn't
them.
too long before finals. I don't think.
Yeah, we beat them by 3 goals or so. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. That's an interesting question.
We
What would have
played
been
it.
the
Yeah, so it
last?
was a Friday night. Round 18, we beat them by 21 points.
Yep,
So
that's
if I
probably about
can
as close. Yeah.
let me jump on the ladder and I'll see where they were.
I can't
Oh
see
no,
anything.
yeah, that was 1v2. They were second. So that would definitely be the last time. Haven't seen
Okay,
one for
yeah,
8 years.
there it is. Yeah, 2nd of June 2017, Geelong Cats beat Adelaide Crows in AFL tabletop clash. Yep, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's going to be a big game, that's for sure. And fuck, I can't wait for that. It's just gonna be huge. I
It's
mean,
going to be a big day as well.
yeah,
yeah. Like obviously, Eddie slides straight in for whoever he wants, really. But other than that, like Tex is obviously already in, but I'm taking Thilf over
yeah,
Josh Jenkins. Like, and I think that's a
yeah. No,
Andy
absolutely.
Alton
I
good
Yeah.
man. We were absolutely cooking him.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But other than that, let's give a proper prediction for it. Who wins and how much, Dom, next week? We're unison that Crows get it done easily, but how much are we going for? And what should we predict this week? Um, So Darcy Fogarty goals. Does he come back and have a bit of an impact this week up closer to goal? Dill, what about you, mate?
Crows by 80 odd, I'd say. Darcy Fogarty, he'll kick 3. But I reckon I have a very slight feeling that Riley Thilthorpe is in for a big bag of 7 or 8.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, he could have an absolute week next week.
Yeah, I reckon he will. One of them will get off the leash. Might even be big old fucking Chris Burgess.
He could. Nah, absolutely. I tend to agree. Yeah, Crows by 12 goals or so, and I tend to agree with you, mate. I'll be keeping a keen eye on the markets for Thilthorpe for next week because he could, he could kick a big bag next week, I think, because they don't have any defenders who are going to be able to go anywhere near him, and if we want to feed him, it could be a big day for him. I think we probably get it done pretty easy. Other than that, before we head off, boys, was there anything else you wanted to touch on?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Eagles back 6 at the moment, what they're lining up with today, and that is just fucking hell. McCarthy, Bazzo, Duggan, Campbell Chesser, Edwards, and Jimby. Gee.
Brett Bazzo still on the list is crazy.
Shit. Do you remember Brady Hoff lining up on Tex in the goal square and that day he kicked 10? Oh, that was hilarious. That was so funny seeing it. I was like, is that Brady Hoff Tex? And literally within, I think, 30 seconds, Tex had the ball in his hands.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Well, other than that, obviously very up and about at the moment. The Crows are heading towards September. Thank you everyone for listening. Proper Classics are up Thursday morning. There wasn't one last week because I just plain and simply didn't have the time. And it's actually very hard to find vision of games where we've, a good game against Hawthorn that we've won too. Review of the Eagles game will be out Monday nights at Proper Crows Pod on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Thanks for listening. Dom, thanks for jumping on, mate. Welcome back. Nah, absolutely. And Dill, thanks very much.
No worries, mate. Go the Crow.
Absolutely, mate. Go the Crows.
Ring the bell! Ring the bell! The bell in the city of churches! Stand up like Matthew Nicks and rule like you never have before!
Jarman again, round the body, that'll do! Oh, that will do!